This is a bad idea.
That's an understatement of the decade.
I'm serious, Grayson. Are you sure about this? Because once you do, there's no going back.
Yeah, I know, but it's the right thing to do.
It's way more fun sitting in here drinking a cold one than being stuck up in cold, cold studio at the top of Peak 3. That's why I ditched Radio Big for Crash FM. Sunshine for the win, baby!
Yeah, you got that right.
Are you crying?
No!
Oh, come on, dude, seriously? Hmm? Hey, I actually thought about calling you. What's up? No, you go first. Because you're gonna start pestering me if I'm whatsoever evasive. So can you please just go first? Seriously, that's it? You wanted to ask me about your missing laptop? Well, have you checked your fridge? I'm just teasing you. And check underneath the table by the sofa. No, the coffee table. See, I'm just that good. You are so very welcome. How would you like to rate your customer service? I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that. So, just out of curiosity, what's this big project you've been planning out for? So, after conducting one interview with this so-called vigilante, and you're his what now? Number one dedicated fan? I didn't know you like chasing down ghost stories. Hey, I never said I didn't believe you. The part I'm not buying is the fact that you said he smiled at you. Uh-huh, right. He's wearing a mask. How could you tell? Okay, alright. Subject's changed. What I wanted to say to you? It's not necessarily much, but I just wanted to call and check in on you. And I also wanted to hear your voice. Sorry, I have another call. Can I text you later? Talk to you soon. Thanks a lot, Bruce. You seriously know how to kill the mood. Yeah, I got it. Hey, Bruce. What's going on?
Just made it to the roof.
Do you see me?
Fuck you too, Grayson. So, remind me again why you're the one breaking into the warehouse while I'm the one up here having to spot your ass,
Jason, you're the one with the rifle.
and you're the one with sticks. Pot meets kettle. Plus, I've been using non-lethal rounds. I don't see the problem here.
Wait, seriously? You know what? Color me impressed.
And why is that exactly?
Because it sounds too good to be true. Using non-lethal rounds?
With an explosive kick.
And there it is. Look, I need you up there. Not just as my eyes and ears, but as support if things go south. This is supposed to be a quick op. We're here to gather info and stop an arms deal. Quick and easy.
Fair enough. I hear you. Sounds a lot like we're doing Waller's dirty work tonight. Since when were we her lapdogs? I thought she had her own task force assigned to this.
Well, we're not necessarily doing it for her. Bruce wants us to keep this on the low key as they're hoarding both Kryptonian and Intergang weapons. So if it's any consolation, we're doing both Bruce and Clark a favor. Even so, would you really want a talking shark walking up into the building? The man sticks out like a sore thumb.
I would honestly pay to see that. Speaking of the old man, where is he?
Heard Alfred mentioning about him and Selena earlier. It could be that.
Well, it's about damn time. Was Alfred the one who convinced him?
I guess so. What about you? Has someone caught your eye yet?
Well, wouldn't you like to know world's greatest detective?
Ha ha, very funny. I was just curious. Also, I've been thinking, we should probably pick up a hobby.
Like what? Knitting?
Heard they have an open class on Wednesday.
I'll consider it. Enough with the cheddar and get in a position. They're almost finished with loading the shipment onto the truck.
Alright, alright. Okay, I'm in position. How many am I supposedly taking out?
You really want to know?
Do I want to know?
Count 7 in total. 4 near the truck and 3 playing poker.
Sounds easy enough to me. You thinking what I'm thinking?
Then we should make a bet.
You read my mind. $10 under 15 seconds.
Make it 20 and I'll be content.
Alright, just because it's Christmas doesn't mean I'm that generous.
Chickening out, Grayson.
20 it is. Alright, ready?
Ready.
I'm going in 3,
2.
1. Guys, what's going on?
Starting to think your witty lines are a bit dated.
Come on, they're not that bad. So when am I expecting that $20?
Ooh, you overshot by an additional 8 seconds.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Oh man.
Let me know when you got the provider's name.
Already on it. So, I was totally joking about that bet, right?
Sure you were.
I'm serious. I was planning on buying us lunch with that money. Okay, got the name of the shipment provider.
What is it?
Slade Wilson.
Whoa. Hold on. I need your help. Hey, I'm not here to hurt you. Please remain calm. Are there any medical supplies around? Anything that is sanitary? You don't have to tell me I look like shit. Because quite honestly, I actually feel like shit. I'll be okay. It looks worse than it is. I just need to clean out this wound and some help with the stitching. Also, mind doing me a favor and put the knife down? It's a little sharp and, well, pointy. Fair enough. I'll just keep my distance then. I understand the circumstances and the apprehensive reaction. A masked man showing up to your apartment with bloody wounds and scrapes isn't very ideal, especially with what the media has been covering about me, but I can assure you that none of it is true. We've met before, and I've read your article about me. You know I never would have done the things others are claiming. I'm in desperate need of help, and you're somebody who I can rely on. Why should you trust me? Because I'm in a very vulnerable state right now, and you're literally holding a knife. What do I have to lose? Fine.
Because you know me, and I really need your help. Ow. Ow! I am trying to sit still. It still doesn't hurt any less. What? I'm a baby? How am I a baby? Okay, and who's the one sustaining a knife wound? Sorry, you're fine. I know you're doing the best you can. Though I'm going to be blunt, you suck at stitching. Ow! What? Seriously? I was kidding. Thank you. Luckily, the knife didn't hit any vital organs. No, it's okay. I didn't lose too much blood. Unless you were talking about my scars. Oh, it's not as bad as it seems. I guess there's some good qualities about it. Thanks for the tea, by the way. Outside of one other person in my life, you managed to match him. Perhaps I should put you both in a competition. I was complimenting you. So much for earning the media's trust now. Not even a thank you for taking that knife throw for me. I'll forever be in your debt. Blah, blah. Sorry, I forgot about that. No, I'm not being paranoid. I was using it to help monitor any illegal activity in the city. I thought it was going to be a quiet night, and yet, here I am. No, I don't even know who the guy even is. But whoever he is, though, he's good. Scary good. He got the jump on me before he could even react. He even managed to match me. Punch for punch, and kick for kick. Who knows? The next time I see him, I should exchange him for contact details. Perhaps even get a selfie with him. Sorry, bad joke. Okay, this is me noticing you glaring at me, which makes me wonder if the glare is even necessary. Don't stop that. You know what I'm talking about. It's a look that I've gotten too accustomed to. It either means that you're anxious or upset. And for once, it's actually scaring me. I get that you're angry with me. You have every right to be. But how was I going to broach the subject to you any better? Oh hey, while we're on our way to the library, here's a little fun fact. Your friend of yours is that vigilante you see on TV with the waving glow sticks. If there was going to be a better alternative, please let me know. Sorry, that wasn't fair. Look, I should have told you the truth. I'm really sorry you had to find out this way. I've been doing this for nearly 7 years. 7 years of trying to build communities and turn it into a safe haven for those who need it, while having to also dabble fighting humanoid crocodiles or solving riddles in a green box. At my expense, I've been missing out on lectures and even my dates. Come on, you're underestimating my ability to hold a semi-stable relationship together, with or without secret identity. Feel free to doubt all you want. Hence why I said semi-stable. It's crazy knowing I went from being Batman's right-hand man to now a part-time university student. And part-time vigilante. Never expected that to be in the cards for me. Contrary to popular belief, I hardly ever studied. Well, I'm sorry I'm not as studious as you are. Remember that art exhibit that reopened last year, where they displayed their latest painting? Yes, the one you invited me to. Crazy how it was meant to be a small intervention. Nothing but me taking down 8 armed thugs who were attempting to steal a multi-million-dollar painting. In hindsight, it sounded like an average Monday evening. But after seeing you there, it felt as if all of that changed. Almost instantaneously. I had thought about telling you who I was that night. Guess it shows how much spending time with you gave me a semblance of something normal. Though, I guess in all fairness, I don't understand the notion of what normal is anymore. I didn't tell you because you were the closest person in my life. You deserve having something normal outside of my crossfire. I don't regret any of it. Well, damn it, it wasn't a choice I made lightly. This isn't about me not trusting you. Learning about my secret is one thing. Involving yourself is a whole other ballpark. Well, that's not a chance I'm willing to gamble. I'm not doing that to anyone, and I'm sure as hell I'm not doing that to you. I can't lose you, okay? I can't. Hold on. Jason, I'm a little preoccupied.
Sorry, not sorry that I'm interrupting your very heartwarming moment, but you need to focus up. That tracer you placed on our guy, it's active. Currently monitoring him and heading towards his direction. And I know you're in the middle of something, but like it or not, I need you on this one. Can you manage or not?
Yeah, I can manage. Where is he currently?
About that, you're not gonna like it. So whatever you need to do, I'd say wrap it up fast. I'm fine. Trust me, I don't like it either. But I have to try. Please forgive me for all of it. If I had the chance to make this all up to you, I would do so in a heartbeat. Except this is something I have to do. Because I want to do this. I have to do this. You once asked me what kept me going. The answer was you. It was always you. Look, all I'm asking is for you to have faith in me, like you always have. Please. Just enough for me to bring this asshole down. You're not going to lose me. I'll come back and I'll explain everything. I'm coming back. I'm not leaving you behind. There's one last thing you should know.
I love you.
Hey, I just got your text. What's going on?
Hey, Jesus, you look as if you're about to pass out. And, are you bleeding?
I'm fine. It's just a graze. Where is she?
Look, as your friend, whatever happened to the both of you is none of my business. But several hours ago, she just left. It looked as if the whole world crashed around her.
What do you mean left? Left to go where?
I'm sorry, but I can't tell you.
Wait, Chris, please. I need to know.
I'm the one who will make sure my bloodline won't be tainted by the likes of you.
This is getting us nowhere.
You know, I dread the events of the future, not in themselves, but in the results.
Seriously, Edgar Allan Poe?
Well, what can I say? When you formerly lived at the manor, at some point, literature becomes a part of you.
I mean, you're not wrong. After 3 cracked ribs and a broken arm, Bruce had me benched up here for a week. ended up having to read the classics. Julius Caesar, Tempest.
Romeo and Juliet?
No, I guess not. It's good to see you, Jason.
You too, Dick. Though, I would have preferred to have come here under better circumstances.
I know. You and I both. How did everything go out there?
Well, your name's cleared. Bruce had some contacts, pulled a few strings. There were several dirty cops and reporters that were on Penguin's payroll.
Which explains why the cops were so trigger-happy.
Starfire called.
Wait, Corey? Why?
She asked why you haven't answered her calls. Wants to know how you've been. She's worried. I know the two of you have history, but she still cares about you. Figured at some point you should respond back, instead of leaving me to be your messenger boy.
I know. I'm sorry, it's just been a lot.
When was the last time you even slept?
At this point, you're better off not knowing. Alfred wanted me to leave you some tea, by the way.
How generous. The one thing I actually missed here. What are you currently going through?
Footage from my mask. Trying to find out who this guy is and what's his MO. I could only get auditory functions to work. Visuals are a bit scuffed.
Next time, go for a helmet. And I also wanted to drop this off.
Whoa, is this what I think it is?
Let's just say, I'm good with knives.
Wait, maybe we could use this. Computer, run a holographic scan.
What are you up to?
Instead of using my mask visual recording, we could create a 3D render using my detective vision. Play footage. Pause. Enhance image.
What are you currently looking for?
Blood splatters. The knife had some residual blood. And if my guess is right, this should be the exact knife. And the blood didn't belong to me. Even though I was badly wounded, I could still put up a fight. Well, hi there.
Wait, check the engravings on the knife. I've seen these markings before.
What? Where?
When Artemis and I were taking down Bruno Mannheim's warehouses, markings like these appeared on several of the crates.
Well, at least that narrows it down a bit. I'm guessing dating an Amazon helps keep you on a short leash?
Focus, Grayson.
Right, sorry. Do you think this has any connections with the warehouse we took down last year?
Doubt it. I'm pretty sure it was just a shell company. And Slade Wilson is just a merc who supplied the weapons. He still lives by code.
And Mannheim?
Nobody has heard anything from him for several months.
I'm liking this even less. Look at his reaction time. The way that he maneuvers. His training goes beyond anything I have ever seen.
Is there something else you want to tell me?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. Are we gonna pretend what we saw wasn't something from Pet Cemetery or some shit? And that's not even half of it. Something spooked you. Bad. Enough for you to go off the book. Which, coming from me, says a lot. So this is your chance to tell me.
Computer, resume playback.
Why are you doing this?
Why am I doing this? You betrayed your legacy, your destiny to become the greatest heir Gotham would ever witness in its glory. Though all that potential to be wasted on what? A child's play?
Who the hell are you?
I'm the one who will make sure my bloodline won't be tainted by the likes of you, Richard Grayson.
Holy shit.
Yep.
How the hell does he know who you are?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It doesn't make any sense. My legacy? When we were fighting those acolytes of his, did something seem off to you?
Yeah. It was as if they were feral or even catatonic. It didn't seem like they reacted to pain.
Jesus. Jason, please tell me you have a lead on something. Anything.
No, I'm flying blind as you are. I tried running voice recognition through Oracle's program, but
Wait, does Babs know?
not yet. Why?
Because I want to keep this between the both of us, and only us. At least for now, everything is on a need-to-know basis.
Grayson.
Jason, I almost got you killed back there. I have to approach this on my own.
And what if you can't? Can't do this alone. And deep down, you know it. I've seen this level of obsession. This desperation. I never expected you of all people to be like him.
What are you trying to imply?
I suppose it's a lot like father like son, after all.
Are you kidding me? I'm not Bruce, and I'll be damned if I was. Jason, the entire stage was his play. It was an ambush. He used the tracker I placed on him as bait to draw us in. For God's sake, he said my name. To him, this is nothing but a personal vendetta.
It isn't just about finding this guy. It may be the primary reason, sure, but there's more. You'll have to acknowledge the smaller elephant in this room.
Was it wrong of me to be involved in her life?
I think the real question is, do you want her to be involved in yours?
No. She had a good reason to leave all of this behind. I can't blame her for it. Maybe she'll be safer away from me.
You can say that, but what will happen today, or tomorrow, or even the day after that? You can't be sure of anything.
Which is why I'm doing this.
You're leaving your suit?
I have to. When I was fighting him, I almost didn't hold back. Maybe out of fear or anger or even revenge, but
You saw red.
yeah. I didn't want to believe it, but for once, I did. Look, this is temporary. Until I know where to go from here, I need to understand what I'm fighting for.
So, what's next for you?
I'll still be around to help, but just as me.
As what? A smiling idiot?
As a detective.
Before I leave, there's a story I want to share with you.
What is it?
2 years ago, when I was still out for blood, I stumbled upon a kid. Found him next to his mom. She was in a catatonic state due to a variation of the fear toxin being sold in town. His dad was a distributor, a real piece of shit. After I took him down, Bruce found me. He could have taken me in, except he didn't. We instead just dealt with the rest of the hotspots, got the kid and his mom the help, and we just went our separate ways.
Why are you telling me this?
Because I remembered what you said, something about catching those who fall, as it was our job. At the time, I thought it was just you being a pretentious asshole. But now, I understood what you meant. Figured I return the sentiment.
Hey, Jason. Thanks.
What are brothers for? Maybe asking for help isn't such a bad thing. Just some food for thought.
Where are you? Is this thing on? Hey, I'm just making sure. Can't help it otherwise. Okay, everything seems to be just fine. This is journal log number 14. To start off, I had a fantastic nutritional breakfast, made by yours truly. Come on, cut me some slack. I'm trying to lighten the mood. Oy, fine, I'll stay on topic. Anywho, Babs decided to check in on me for today. Even gave me a mouthful for lying to her. Thanks a lot, Jason, for going behind my back. She also tried persuading me to put back on the suit, but I'm just not there yet. On another note,
Tim also stopped by. He wanted to have a brother-to-brother chat about a certain somebody. Seems to be a bit of a troublemaker. Reminds me of somebody I know. Yeah, she is special. Computer, did I ever tell you the story of how we met? Anyways, soon after I placed the painting back, guess where I saw her? Right across the window, dialing for the police. Even had the audacity to tell me she was just sightseeing. Yeah, I'm fine. I was just pondering. It's honestly crazy how one secret can open up a whole universe of others. How so much can change in just one day. Even with the addition of 3 magical words, you then start to question the 5 W's. Who, what, when, where, and why. Though, it really doesn't matter because at the end of the day, you know everything has changed. That much is certain. Yeah, I'm okay. I'll be okay. I just wish I had the chance to say goodbye.
There's one last thing you should know.
I love you.
Why did I leave?
Hey, sorry Mr. Call. Please leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
You're quite persistent. You know that? Having to spot me at the exhibit earlier was one thing, but having to follow me? You've officially piqued my interest. Were you so interested in my theatrics? You actually caught me off guard. I should honestly be impressed. Not many people have a knack in doing so. But since you've caught my attention, why are you here? You were sightseeing. Right. And would you like to enlighten me on what the view was exactly? What, excuse me? Answer my question, then I'll answer yours? This isn't an interview. Oh shit. You're actually serious? Look, while I appreciate you having to get my story out there, I'm not doing this for the glory. I'm simply here to help this city out. Plus, a man's gotta have hobbies, right? Ouch. So, are you here to praise me or point out my shortcomings? Because I have to say, I'm a little insulted. But okay, fine. You got my eyes and ears. From what I could gather, it was meant to be a small heist. They tried getting off with several pieces of jewelry before going for the main prize. I love doing what I do. It's always good to keep that glimmer of hope around, even when knowing you have something to fight for. Or someone. I'm not gonna comment on that. Unfortunately, you're reaching into personal territory. Now, on the other hand, are you still willing to answer my question? You were waiting for somebody? Like a date or something? Oh, I'm sorry he didn't show. It's possible he didn't mean to. If it's not that, then what seems to bother you? Was there something you wanted to ask him? Saved by the sirens, I suppose. Sorry to cut this short, but I got to clear out. Give the police your statement and head straight home. It's not safe for you at this hour. And try not to make this a habit, please. Yeah, what is it? Have a good night.
Hey, just grab the coffee you asked for. Seriously, you've been writing for hours. You should probably give yourself a break at some point. Hello? Oh my god, are you actually asleep? You're an actual handful, you know that? Okay, let's see what you were writing about. Our city's on guardian angel. You're writing a story on Nightwing? I really wish you told me you were going to be at the exhibit heist last night. Would have made things a hell of a lot more easier. You being here might make things easier, but for who, I'm not even sure at this point. I'm him. Bombshell, right? It all makes sense. Why you were so giddy about seeing somebody? That's because you were the one I saw. And well, you saw me. There's so many times I wanted to tell you, but I suppose it's a lot easier than saying I love you. Yeah, what a way to pile onto the list. I've wanted to tell you that for a while now, but things weren't getting any better. I figured it was the last thing you wanted to even hear, much less even know. What am I even fucking doing? I remember the first time I moved here from Gotham. You and Linda out of nowhere were tossing water balloons at Wally and I. All you did there was stand and laugh. First time having to meet you and you were already being a pain in my ass? You were an absolute legend at first impressions. 4 years later and I still managed to be stuck to you like glue. I do love you. I really do. But I also can't be with you. I wish I could sit here every day to hold you and assure you that everything is going to be okay. I wish I could tell you all of it. But you deserve so much more than a guy who dresses up in a skin-tight suit leaping from rooftops to rooftops. You deserve a life that's full of happiness and light in your eyes, with a glimmer of water balloons somewhere in the mix. Not one where you have to wait for your boyfriend to come back from a gunfight, or worse. And now I'm making myself feel like shit envisioning you with somebody else. But I'll be there for you in a heartbeat, when and if you need me. That's a promise I'm willing to make to you. I'll let you get some sleep. Good night. What time is it?
Have you given up yet, Richard?
Huh? Is somebody here? Bruce? Tim? Not quite. Okay, whoever you are, this isn't funny. We're inside your mind. Or more accurately, I should say our subconscious. I'll have to admit, I was expecting our mind to be a lot cozier. Like Fiji, maybe Bora Bora. I'm sorry, who are you? And just when I thought you and I were becoming friends. I'm practically you. Born out of your guilty conscience. What, so I'm dead? No, don't worry. You're currently asleep. So, is this all a dream? I really wish it was that simple, buddy. What does that even mean? Where do you think we are? I don't know. The Batcave? I need something a little bit more specific. This cartoonish bullshit. Okay, the training grounds. Where I train as Robin. Bravo. I'm so happy you remembered. Because we need to talk. About what? To understand why you decided to give up the mask. I don't need to offer you a goddamn explanation. Oh, so you're going down that route. I'll just recap your memories for you. 2 months ago, you went out on patrol, as per usual. Then you were caught off guard by... what's his name again? Oh, that's right. Talon. You then fled to see her. Are you done? Oh, I'm so sorry. Did I pinch a nerve? Let me ask you another question. Why did you leave her? Was it because of what you said? What was it again? I love you? I found it to be so moving. I left because I had no other choice. That's bullshit and you know it. So I'm going to ask you one last time. Why did you leave? Because I made a promise I couldn't keep. I wasn't there for when Jason died. Or when Barbara was shot. Yeah, I could have done something. Anything at all. I kept having to think to myself, when would I cross the line? Was it going to be at that very moment? I gave up the mask because he was right. All of this is nothing but a facade. At some level, you need to understand this is part of the job. Babs and Jason knew. All of us did. It's safe to say she knew too. That's why she pleaded for you to stay, instead of having to rush into the abyss. I never wanted her to think she couldn't be trusted because I do trust her. I just never wanted her to be mixed up in this mess. Unfortunately, that's not your decision to make. Tomorrow's undetermined, but you can do something now. I'm here to remind you why we started this crusade. We've done a lot of good here. If you think all of it was a waste, then Talon truly has won. What am I supposed to do? I think you know. You said it best. We all need someone to catch us when we fall. Someone who makes us feel safe. Like I said, you know. It's time for you to wake up now. Nightwing. Okay.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. At the tone, please record your message.
You're right about all of it. You deserve the truth, so I'm here to offer that. I'll be at the place where we first met 5 years ago, but not as Nightwing, as me. I don't want this to be a goodbye. I made you a promise. I still intend on keeping it. What do you think, Haley? I will personally take that as a compliment. Thank you. Okay, Haley, I'm off. Behave and don't eat the rest of my bagels, please. Oh, is someone going to miss me? How about if you patiently wait for me, I'll come home soon with your favorite snacks. How's that? That's my good girl. I think you know. You said it best. We all need someone to catch us when we fall. When did I become a softie? You know, the next time you're choosing a place to hide, please have it be a little less obvious. I never said you were predictable. I just said it was obvious. I don't need to be the world's greatest detective to figure that one out. And to be fair, you weren't being very subtle at all. I mean, hiding behind your bar counter? Seriously, that's your go-to? Yeah, well, too bad you're adorable. Do you mind if I join you? The cold shoulder. I guess I deserve it. 2 months ago, I decided to drive all the way here as a way to clear my head. Just having to drive to the most serene part of the city, breathing the fresh evening air and listening to the sound of palm trees. Then to see somebody I love standing there. If anything, it almost sounds too good to be true. Almost like a dream. There was a time where I thought all of this would be so much simpler, having to wonder about hypotheticals and what ifs. Part of you then wishes for it to happen. Makes it seem like as if you're waiting for a shooting star to arrive. We're not defined by our past. Rather, we're defined by choices we make in face of a crisis. How we choose to react to it will determine what's next. And just when I thought my past was catching up to me, I realized my future is standing right next to me all this time. Right here, right now. I'm not expecting you to forgive me. I know that ship has sailed long ago. Deep down, it was killing me. In spite of it, I still had to put on a brave face. I made a promise that I'd come back to your side every time I put on that mask. But after having to leave you, after seeing the expression on your face, it was as if you knew I was never coming back. I realize that now, and I am so sorry. It's just, I was scared. Scared of losing you, scared of all of it. I was afraid of who I was becoming, being driven by vengeance instead of hope. I thought by letting you go, you'd be able to lead a normal life. Away from me, away from all this hell. Seems like that was easier said than done. No, don't say that. You didn't hold me back. All my life I had these uncertainties. Having to reject a predetermined fate that was meant for me, making me somebody I'm not. I'm not Batman, and I'm certainly am not Talon. But the one thing I'm certain about is you. I mean, after all, you were the one who made one hell of an impression here. That's something I'll never forget. Having to see you for the first time felt like a blessing in disguise. I mean, hell, imagine what Wally West would do with that information. Oh, I'll never get over the water balloon incident. That was a horrible initiation and you know it. Haha, laugh it off. It was so cartoonishly evil. Yeah, well, it's funny how I fell for you shortly after. So, that's something. I'm sorry I never told you I Hi. I miss you too. More than you know. Yes, of course I'm real. I'm holding you right now, aren't I? Hey, look at me. I'm not leaving you again. I came back because I now understand what I'm fighting for. To fight for this city, my friends and family, and you. I'll be there to catch you anytime, any place.
Who the hell are you?
I'm the one who will make sure my bloodline won't be tainted by the likes of you, Richard Grayson.
No, it was nothing. I was just thinking about Talon. He's still out there. But the next time we meet, I'll be ready. Hey, stop. We'll deal with him tomorrow. I promise. Though there was one mystery I have never gotten to solve yet. That night after the heist, what was it that you wanted to tell me? Okay, good talk. Unbelievable. I'll see you later. Before I go, I have one last thing to tell you. I love you. Okay, I'm shutting up now.